Another type of transformation that you discussed was reflection. So whereas the translation was a slide, that SL should have made you think of slide, reflection, the FL in reflection should make you think of flip. So we're actually going to be taking our image and flipping it over either the x-axis or the y-axis, and it's going to make a mirror image of that shape. So where the translation, we were just moving it around on the coordinate plane and it didn't change the shape or the size at all, this time the shape's going to look a little bit different. It'll still be the same size, but now it's going to look like the mirror image of what we started with. So we're actually going to start again by labeling our points. So our point A is at 3, 2. B is 6, 7, and C is 8, 1. Now, when we flip our shape over each axis, each one of those points should still be the same distance away from the origin along x or along y. So for example, point A here is 3 from the origin along the x-axis and 2 from the origin along the y-axis. So it's going to be 3 away and 2 away again, but it's going to be flipped the other way. So let me change the color of the pen and we'll count over 3 from the origin along x and then 2 along y. And this will be our new A prime. And we're going to do the same thing for B and C. And I won't draw the lines in that time because that'll look messy, but we're going to count over from the origin 6 along x and then down 7. And that's our B prime. And then for C, we'll count over 8 along the x-axis from the origin and then 1 along y. And this will be our C prime. So as you can see, that triangle is exactly the same size as it was before, but it's just the mirror image of what we started with. So let's look at how those coordinates change. Our point A prime is now at 3, -2. B prime is at 6, -7, and C prime is at 8, -1. So in general, when we're flipping over the x-axis, our x-coordinate will stay exactly the same. But if you look at what happened to our y-coordinate each time, it became the opposite. So each time we started out with a positive y and it became a negative y. So we started out with A had a y-coordinate of 2, and so A prime is -2. B was +7, B prime -7. C was 1, so C prime would be -1. But in each case, the x-coordinate stayed exactly the same. And now we're going to take this original shape and flip it over our y-axis. So we're going to start out the same way. Our point A was 3 away from the origin along x and 2 along y. And so we want to flip it over this y-axis, so it'll still be 3 away from the origin along x and 2 along y. And this is going to be a double prime. It's our second image. And again, I won't draw the lines in for the next two, but we're going to do the same thing. It's 6 along x and then 7 along y is our B double prime. And then 8 along x and 1 along y will be our C double prime. So again, our shape has not changed size at all, but it looks like the mirror image. And let's go ahead and label these coordinates. A prime is now -3, 2. B prime is now -6, 7. And C double prime is now -8, 1. So a little bit different from when we flipped over the x-axis. When we flip over the y-axis, x is the opposite. And the y-coordinate stays the same. So you can use these rules of how the coordinates change or not, or you can count over the spaces, or a combination of those two. But that is reflections over the x and the y-axis.